10th episode.
I know. Isn't that wild?
Not bad.
10 Chi Talks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our 10th episode, conversation of the Chi Talks. Keep detoxing the noise. Let ancient wisdom become real life. 10.
It's a big number.
It is.
Quite big in Chinese culture as well.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
How?
10. I'm realizing I don't know clearly, but I know it's a big number.
Okay, 10 is a big number in Chinese culture. If you guys can find out and let us know, and we'll also do some research, we can... I
was like, damn, actually I'm supposed to know this.
How much...
But I can't clearly say it, so...
But how much of the things that we know, like, we don't actually know?
Yeah, I mean, that was a good example right there.
Yeah. I was like, tell me more.
I was like, shit.
I mean, I'm really just glad that you didn't just, like, make something...
I could have. I thought about it. I was like, should I?
No, don't do that.
Say some shit?
No, never the right answer.
Sure.
Personally, professionally, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it crossed my mind, but I took the right path.
Yeah, just let it go. Gosh, 10, guys. You're 10 conversations in, and I'm really excited.
Got a lot to be excited about. Especially, there's been some stuff going on this week, huh? Is it too early to share, or like?
Well, I mean, I can't not share anymore.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of let the rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah. So, cat's out of the bag, so here we go. Instagram has been an interesting place for me.
Mm-hmm.
A few days ago, I hit 20,000, and then today I am almost looking at 25. So the messages have been resonating, but for some people, it's been a combative place for them for some reason, which I would like to unpack a little bit later. But yeah, Chinese medicine as a lifestyle, Chinese medicine, just ways to incorporate the foundations and theories into your everyday life, seems to be resonating with at least 25,000 people around the world. So that's a huge win for me.
For now. Yeah.
Right before I walked here, I was contacted by somebody very interested in my book. I don't know if I've really talked about it, but I have a book called The Missing Link Between the Mind, the Body, and the Needle. And it's not like a textbook. It's not this like grandiose, like, aha things, but it's just a really easy way that I was able to convey my clinical knowledge, but also things that I've learned along the way on the connection. And it's a very thin, small book, but they want to put it in a physical bookstore and potentially have me featured in a very, very large publication with my book. And I'm trying to just say this in like a nonchalant way, but okay, I'm sorry if this comes off like I'm rubbing it in your face or like flexing or whatever. I'm just really excited. So a little backstory about what this story means, what this book means is it's kind of a huge deal for me because it got published the week of my 40th birthday in March of this year. Mm-hmm. So roughly 4 months ago, it was released. Today's the 22nd. Yeah, I turned 40 on March 21st, so 4 months ago. And my father always wanted to publish a book. He never got around to it. And so when I did, and especially with my own niche that I've carved out of acupuncture, which is psychology acupuncture, and to have released a book, I didn't expect it. Like, I was not hoping, I didn't have like delusions of like being this like great author and like making money and living off of that. But it was just a small testament for my own journey as a love letter to my own healing, but also for people that were searching for just what's next, what's more. I wanted to put it out there and to have it resonate with so many people, but also enough to say, hey, this is something that's different and necessary. Yeah, it feels like a fucking win. So I'm sorry if this comes off like assholey, but like, I'm blessed, I'm honored, I'm like humbled all at the same time. And it's also the imposter syndrome is kicking in, which of like, me? Like, this is all like happening right now. And so yeah, like I didn't want to like laugh or like be so excited about it, but I also didn't want to be like humble and modest, because let's face it, I suck at that. But yeah, I feel like it's, and let me make it very clear, it's not me. I'm not like I did that, right? I wrote that book. But I do think that there's a resonance of the years of experience, the education, the work that I have. It is culmination of my blood, sweat, and tears, of what I've had to find for myself, what I went looking for, and what I created when I couldn't find truly that missing link. So, yeah, I like had a moment of just like surrealism where it was like, I actually had my office manager pinch me, and she pinched me hard, like I'm bruised. But yeah, like a publishing house wants to publish a book on chi, energy, and how acupuncture works for mind, body, spirit connection. What the fuck?
Incredible.
So
be proud of yourself. Yo, it's okay to pat yourself on the back and laugh and cheer and all of that stuff.
So yeah,
that was awesome, man. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about your book to me is your book has spirit. That's like the best way I can describe it. You know how you read a bunch of stuff these days, and you're reading the words, and you're just like, they're words. They're not saying a lot, but there's no like actual depth of spirit behind it. It's like you can almost tell when people just kind of pump shit out just to do something and make another buck and just make it good enough that it can sell a couple copies. Like it just feels like an empty shell. But I think when I was reading your book, that was the main thing that jumped out, was like there's spirit in this book. And it was affecting my spirit too. Like honestly, I was like, holy shit, I have stuff that I love, and I need to get on it and put in more work. And so it was like it was touching, you know, quite a deep part of myself that really, I'm proud of you for writing that, because it's not easy. It's not easy to access a part of yourself and to be able to transmit that into something physical.
Thank
yeah.
you.
So bravo.
I didn't tell him to say any of that. That's very nice. Well, I guess I'm buying dinner tonight. I have a weird like defense mechanism. I make jokes at the most inopportune times when I get awkward. So I'm a little awkward with compliments and nice things, but I am taking it to heart, joking aside.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was very nice.
So for you guys who have not picked up the book, you need a little inspiration in your life. Also, just a little bit more knowledge about your own situation and your own energy system. Just pick it up. It's not that long, and that's one of the things I really like about it too. Is a lot of my favorite books, they're not long books. They're very short, but they're really dense with meaning and information, and it's something you have to read a few times, and it keeps building on itself. And I think your book fits into that category.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's the end of the talk today. We're done. Okay. I also, riding on like all these very exciting highs, I have a personal kind of dilemma or existential crisis, if you will. And I feel like I'm living yin and yang right now. Like I'm at like the peak high of like riding high on success, but it also came with like some really ugly like trolls and comments and things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as I mentioned, Instagram it's not real, right? And it's not some place that I go to like change lives, but I wanted to create just a small corner of the digital world to be a safe place for people, right? So like none of my messages are polarizing, and I'm not a fashion icon. Like I don't even like, I'm barefaced. I have sunscreen on my face right now, and it's like it's not about me. And the intention of my page was to just be a safe community for people to just let down worries and insecurities and doubt and all these other, for lack of a better word, noise, where they could just kind of recollect who they are, remember their voice. And so that's why I started that. And as a Chinese medicine practitioner, it was the philosophies and theories. I would never deign to talk about Chinese culture because I'm not culturally Chinese. I'm Korean, and I'm Korean American at that. But my education and my experience and my career, my lifestyle has been based off of Chinese medicine, not Korean medicine. So with that being said, I think there was a lot of discourse outside of my content itself that people were attacking like me. And you know, I'm human, so of course like I went through like, I have a very petty, vindictive side of me that's like the not healed version. And she is not nice. She's savage and she is petty and she's quick with the comebacks. And so when certain people had written certain things, like coming to challenge like my face or the way that I look or the way that I speak, my voice, things like that, it's not a nice feeling because it's something that I get it, plastic surgery, but it's like, it's not something I can change, right? I was born this way. And yes, I haven't had any work done. And for people that comment like your face is ugly or your like eyes are this or your hands are this or like the way that you talk, like, is that really necessary, you know? And then there's people that are like challenging different parts of it, and a lot of it was like, I did ask for this, right? I knew what I was getting myself into when I opened up to the digital world, but sometimes it just kind of gets to you, right? Like, these are insecurities. I don't think that I'm the prettiest girl in the room. I never have. I am very fortunate to look like my mother and father, for better or for worse, whatever that means. But for somebody that doesn't know you to just pick apart and say everything that they hate about you, truly use the word hate. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you're just trying to create a safe place for people to just find community. It kind of hurt my heart because it was like, this is the ugliness of humanity that we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, yeah, this morning I don't cry easily. It takes a lot for me to cry. Like, it really does. So I think I've cried probably more these past 3 weeks than I have in like 7 years. But this morning I just felt really, I think I used the word porous. I just felt so emotionally porous. Mm-hmm. And it's not to say like everyone was like that. For every one nasty comment or troll telling me they like hate everything about me, you have so many warm, supportive people. And I was surprised because there was a lot of supporters or followers that were defending me, that were like telling me, like not even engaging in the troll fare, but they were just like, fuck off. Like, we don't care about this. You're doing a great job. Your message means something to me. And so I'm not focusing just on that one part, but like, it was just funny that this morning I woke up feeling very vulnerable and very just like confused about it. And then to have this really exciting thing happen where, I don't know, like they're both coexisting. It's not like one overshadows the other and I'm like, oh, well, that doesn't hurt me anymore. Mm-hmm. It does. And like every time, even when I was posting today's content, I think it's the first time in 2.5 months that I spent 7 or 8 recordings because I started getting in my head. What if it's the way that I'm using my hands? Is it too much hands? Is it too much eye contact? Like, I started feeling insecure. And
how are you gonna let that go? Because obviously the success you've had up until now is based on who you are. and not worrying about those kinds of things. So I think the last thing you want to do is start second guessing what's gotten you there.
So I think what I've come to the conclusion of is, if you're one of the people that wrote me like a nasty comment about my face or my body, like not about my content, you can challenge my content at any point. But if you're just being a fucking asshole and you're trying to be mean to me, fuck you. So yeah, if you don't like it, hit block, move it the fuck along. Because there are other people that want to be here, that want to be a part of this community, and I will make damn sure that you don't get to fuck it up for the rest of us. It is a safe place to feel seen and heard, but if you cannot be a safe place for other people, fuck you. Okay? Fuck off my page. And that's kind of how I felt. I was just like, you know what?
That's it.
So I'm not putting out inflammatory content. You can have things and qualms about what I'm saying or how I'm saying it. Come to me. But I think what got under my skin was, what if these things that are out of my control are the reason why these people aren't hearing the message? And then I was like, you know what? I'm not some prophet of God. Like, if you're a dickhead and this is what is going to stop you from listening to like the source of whatever you're needing, that's not really a me problem. That's a personal problem. And I hope you figure your shit out. But for everybody else, that is. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But they realize that the authenticity or the way that I'm talking about it is passionate and is meaningful to me. And that's what's bringing these people here. It's not because I'm something amazing to look at, right? They like what they're hearing. They're needing to hear this from somebody. And I've been there. I've been in that position where I've just asked the universe, like, I just need a fucking sign, man. And then I opened up Instagram, and in the dumbest meme, like, it was like I just started laughing because it was like, I think it was like a Homer Simpson, like, putting himself back into the bushes. And it was like the comment, I still remember because I was like, what the caption was exactly what I needed to hear in that moment. So I'm like, I'm doing this for me. And I'm doing it for people that are looking to need a little bit of reassurance, or that are a little bit more confused, or that need just a little bit of support, right? And if you can't provide that for someone else, you don't deserve to be here either, okay? So be nice. And if you can't, hit block, dude. You don't have to say everything that comes to mind. It's kind of an asshole thing to do. So, short story that I made very, very long. I got out of my head. I drank my 4th coffee today and made it a full meal. And then I recorded one take, mistakes and all, and I just posted it because I'm not doing this to be performative. I'm not doing this for people to like me. I'm doing it because I actually believe in every single word that I say, and it's not AI. I don't sit there and copy and paste. These are things that come from my own experience of my own life, and this is me on a screen, telling you kind of what I've gone through. Every message has resonated with me on a personal level. Maybe that's why it's resonating with so many other people as well, because I've been there. And so, yeah, long story short, if you're not a safe place for me and for the rest of our beloveds, bye! But if you are, welcome.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be more and more trolls coming out of the woodwork too. So I think at the end of the day, you just kind of have to accept that fact and keep doing what you're doing.
You know, I had a question that like popped in my head during this entire day. It's like, how do you manage or deal with people that just are out to be miserable?
Yeah, that's fuck if I know. I mean, I feel like you're going through this experience and you're gonna learn what the best way to deal with it. I've never gone through the experience, so I can only come up with logical ideas that I think would work for myself and in my head.
You've never had a situation where somebody was saying things purposefully incendiary to try to upset you?
Yeah, of course that's happened, but I feel like it hasn't happened in a really long time. To the point where I literally cannot remember the last time someone's really just said shit primarily to hurt me. Without like, just like the main reason they're saying this shit is just to like kind of put a nail into me. I can't even remember the last time that happened.
Jeff also has very bad memory.
I have awful memory. Maybe it happened last week and I just forgot. It's possible.
No, that's like the question I get a lot. It's like you teach about reconnecting with yourself. Your whole message is reconnect the disconnect. If you're happy and you're healed, like why are you, like bothered by this? And I did. Like, I think that's the biggest question, and I'm really appreciative of people asking me this genuinely, right? Not to start fights, but genuinely because they're curious. Because I spent a lot of time thinking and feeling like I had to be holier than thou Yoda and be like, I'm chill, no matter what you say doesn't hurt me. Because I'm not healed. I'm still human, and every day I'm healing, I'm re-healing, I'm breaking, and I'm doing this again and again, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have never been an insecure person when it comes to my work, my career.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal life, there are times that, most oftentimes than not, I'm second guessing and I'm very, very insecure about me as a person, which took me a very long time to kind of figure out why that was and like where that was coming from. But I think it's like, I've come to the conclusion now in my healing state, right? Because I will never be healed. The day that I die, I still won't be healed, right? And I hope to continue that. I hope to continue to be a fluidly changing person because we're not supposed to be happy all the time. That's not happiness, right? Find your baseline. And my baseline is pretty mellow. There's days like this morning that I felt a little blue, and there's days that I'm going to feel really, really spicy and red, and other times that I'm just like neutral, right? But just because we're practitioners of Chinese medicine, especially because like Jeff does Tai Chi and understands like philosophy and foundations of Tao, doesn't mean we're any less human than somebody who has not learned these philosophies, right? I think I found what keeps me regulated, and that is being able to recognize that I'm pissed or that I'm upset, that I'm hurt, that I'm lashing out, but also to catch myself if I'm reacting instead of responding. So that's been my biggest thing. It's don't react, respond. And sometimes that's just, you're a shit human in a shit place, and I don't want to accept that, right?
Yeah.
And so that's, I don't know.
Okay. I think for me, I think I'm pretty good at not taking things personally.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think that's really helpful for me to, let's say someone was saying some fucked up shit to me. I honestly do believe that everything that's happening is really a reflection of everyone else. So let's say someone's hurling insults at me. I actually believe in my heart of hearts that actually they're the ones suffering.
Sure.
This anger that they're showing directed at me is actually a mirror showing their own internal instability. Sure. And I do truly believe that. So I think having that understanding in my heart would help me to actually have sympathy for someone who is doing that to me. So this works on smaller scales for sure. Like let's say, I don't know, something small happens and the stress on my system is not that much, then I can kind of hold to this sure. philosophy. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, you're suffering. Of course, there's a breaking point for everyone. There's a limit to my field of chi and my understanding. So if someone was hurling insults about my mom, maybe I'd be like, okay, we're fighting. Yeah. So I think in my journey, conceptually, I believe I understand. In practice, it is a matter of being aware in life, and when these things happen, to remind yourself of these lessons and work through it. But at the same time, yeah, we all have our limits. So that being said, I think having a philosophy and having an understanding of yourself is pretty necessary, so that you have the right direction when something does go down. And if something does go down, you kind of give yourself the grace and you say, like, you are still human, and you're still trying. So I think that would be how I would approach situations like that.
Sounds like a healed dude to me. Or a healing dude. Women, you should probably find yourselves a guy like Jeff to date, because he seems very understanding and very, open. So that's nice. How do you do that, though? It's like, yeah, if you're talking about my mom, I don't care who you are, I'm going to punch you in the throat, and then we'll ask questions later.
Yeah.
But even if you know that person is just mad about themselves or whatever, there's days that I'm like, la-di-da, all right, you're in a shitty mood. I'm sorry about that. Maybe your life is not great and you just need an outlet. I understand that here. Mm-hmm. But it's also like, wait a damn minute. And then I'm just like, I don't want to let this go.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't know.
It's just more understanding. You understand it here, but also there's a way to understand it here too, right? And I think that takes patience and time and giving yourself a little bit of space for something, for like an emotion to come and to go. And in my opinion, it's just a practice. You start small, you're able to catch little things that would normally, take your center.
Okay.
The more you do it, the more space you have. And then the more stress you can take. And I think it's literally like everything else. You start small, you keep practicing, you get better at it, becomes more natural, bigger force hits your body. If you've trained enough, you can be like, okay, you have a little bit of space, and then you can kind of take care of it the way is the right way to take care of it. I see it no different than practicing Tai Chi and absorbing physical force on the body. To me, it's just a matter of time, effort, and correct understanding. And you give yourself the grace to kind of fuck up, but to stay on the right path. And you do it for long enough, and hopefully one day you're just like, yeah, shit, I'm pretty chill.
I hope to get there one day. I'm not holding my breath though. I'm very self-aware. No, my mom, who is where I get my spice level from, she likes to tell me, she's like, you're very unpredictable because you have so much understanding and grace of patience until you don't. I have like hot buttons. There's like 3 specific hot buttons, and if you hit any of those hot buttons, like it's like instant game on. Everything else, I don't care. Like you can tell me like all these other things, but if I'm already feeling a little porous, and then you happen to be the unlucky person that just kind of like tips it over the scale, I'm sorry for you. But like I can't, because I know that if I swallow it, it's gonna stay with me the entire day, or like the coulda, shoulda, woulda, I should have just addressed it and let it out. And like that's where I think I struggle. Like somebody recognized me at a cafe. I was picking up coffee. And they're like, "Are you the witch doctor?" And I was like, "What?"
Oh, shit.
showed me my own Instagram, and
God.
they took a picture with me. And they were
Is this
like,
the first one?
Yeah.
On the street? Let's go.
So somebody had done that about my book, and they actually had a copy of my book, and they were my very first autograph ever. But this person today at Starbucks, this is my 3rd coffee of the day. She was like, "Oh my God, you're the witch doctor," and she shows me her phone, and she's watching my content from yesterday. for whatever reason, yesterday's content was getting a lot of views. And she was like, holy shit, can we take a picture? And I was like, the one day I don't dress up, I have no makeup, I'm like, fuck it, all right. And she's like, you look exactly like you do on your videos. I was like, thank you.
Yeah, you actually did.
I think.
Did.
I think that's a good thing.
No, that's a good thing.
But yeah, she took a picture with me, which was insane. And then she was like, she looked at me and she was like, yeah, fuck the haters. I love your shit.
Hell yeah.
And I was just like bawling.
I feel like there's got to be some like karmic balance of the scales for this morning.
Yeah. It felt so like literal seesaw. I went from being really porous and feeling really just like insecure in my own body to just like, what the fuck? You recognize me with no makeup on, you're like, you look exactly like your reels, and she's like, I love your shit. Thank you. Whoever, I hope you tag me so that I can remember you forever. That was incredible. Not because I got recognized. I promise I'll take better care of my face in case I run into you guys again, but what are the odds that she's listening to my content and then she's like, I love your shit, fuck the haters?
I mean, you have 25,000 followers, so it's, you know, I feel like at some point it's bound to happen, right?
Like,
it's bound to
holy shit. Like, it's been such an insane cloud today. Or like this morning, yeah, I was like in my feels. Y'all making me religious again because I had to pray to like cleanse all that shit out. And then I went from like here and kind of like insecure and like getting my footing again to getting an insane book deal proposition, things that I only dreamt about. I was joking. I wasn't joking. Let me be very intentional when I say this. Last year, I was telling my office manager, she's one of my closest friends, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be the Taylor Swift of healing. I'm fucking claiming it. Not because I like Taylor Swift or because I don't like her. I think that she does have a global massive presence where whether you love her or you hate her, you know her, right? She knows who she is. She knows what she does. And that's what I wanted to do for healing. And I intentional use of healing for me because I didn't want to be known for acupuncture. I didn't want to be known for an aspect, but it was to heal, right? And whatever that looked like. And then I was very on the fence about releasing my book because it's so deeply personal, and I was afraid that it was going to get like, you know, sliced to pieces or like, you know, dissected and like it's kind of, for those of you who have written a book, probably more so than I'm feeling, but that's like so deeply personal to you. It's my writing style. It's honestly, since you've read the book and you're very close with me, I actually didn't write a manuscript. Those are transcribed by hand from my voice memos. So I wanted it to be as intentionally as if I was speaking to somebody. And so I had like 2-3 years worth of voice memos that I transcribed by hand. I would play it and I would transcribe every word, and imagine how long that takes because you don't type as fast as you speak. And then that was condensed down. I worked with my publisher and they were able to edit certain things, and I fought for control of some stylistic choices because they were intentional with the word choices. And so I'm saying it now, but when you said it felt like there was spirit in it, that's probably the highest accolade that I could ever hope to get, because it truly is. It's every single word that I'd ever spoken put on paper, and that's so devastatingly intimate to release to the world for people who don't know me, for people who don't know this medicine, to just easily write it off and be like, yeah, this is shit. I can't believe she wrote something like this. And that is hard to separate. I think that's where the question of how do you separate insults, right? They don't know you. It's a deeply thing, but it's a deeply personal item of mine. It's like if you're a Potterhead, it's like a Horcrux. That's part of my spirit, right? That book.
A Horcrux?
Yeah. So, you're clearly not a hot... You're okay.
I know what it means. I'm sure.
Are you sure?
I don't know what it means.
Okay. He's clearly not a Potterhead. So in Harry Potter, Voldemort, or he who must not be named, divulges his spirit into 7 Horcruxes. So they're embodiments of his spirit.
Okay.
So even if his body dies, his spirit doesn't, because he's got these 7 embodiments.
Okay.
And so Harry Potter's to find all these and get rid of them to be able to like get rid of Voldemort himself.
Got it. Okay.
So it's kind of like that. And I love Harry Potter. But it's like a piece of me is that book.
Okay.
And so I was deeply terrified to have anybody read it and to maybe they would misunderstand, or maybe they would think that it was shit. I didn't care
Totally,
if you think that I'm a bad writer. You can think that I'm a bad writer. I'm not a writer. But what if you were to shit on the content or the piece of it? Because that's part of me, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that's where it's like, and now social media, this Instagram it's a part of me, because they're my own personal learnings. This is a love letter to my own healing journey, that I think that's why I take it personally when people are like challenging or saying that you can challenge. Let me rephrase that. You can challenge my content. You can ask me genuine questions. I would love to have conversations with you, right? But if you're just going to attack me, I'm going to be defensive, right? Because these are my words. These are my thoughts. These are my experiences. And I have to keep remembering that social media is not generally a safe place, which is why I'm in my own way combating that and wanting to keep at least my page, every comment. And I think you asked me this before, but like, do you have to respond to every comment? Yeah. I want to be fair for those who are supportive and for those who are loving, and for those of you who are writing encouraging endearments. I respond to that. For people that have questions, that have attacks and concerns and challenges, I'm going to respond to that in kind, right? But I've learned not to react. Probably 3 edits later. I'm working on it, I promise. But I have snarky responses, and then I delete it, and then I let me take some time to see, because what if this person genuinely is asking, and I'm taking it in a twisted way? And I have found that a lot of people that have started to try to challenge or be like keyboard trolls, they've privately messaged me and be like, hey, actually, thanks for taking that time. I did mean it to kind of like fuck with you, but that was really nice, and now I'm going to follow you. I don't expect that from every single person, but I want to go in with a grace that like, I'm not skewing where you're coming from. And if in fact you are coming for me to just try to rage bait, I've got words for you too, right? I'm human. I'm not Jesus, I'm not Yoda, I'm not whatever that is. But yeah, it was that portion of, okay, this is only going to get bigger from here. And if these people are challenging my framework or my content, fine. But if you're just going to start attacking my face and my voice and what things that I can't control, it's like, am I ready for this? Do I have the hardened shell to continue to do this when I have a few people that just like hate me or hate what I'm looking like?
I think you're building it right now. I think you can't. How can you have a hardened shell when you haven't had the stress on your system?
Baby, I'm Korean. Koreans, for those of you Koreans and other of my Asian women, the Asian aunties, they're like, oh my God, you look so great. You're adding a little bit of the pounds, or,
That's
oh yeah, you're single. Why are you single? Oh, congratulations on the marriage. What about kids? Or, oh, like Asian aunties have a way of lifting you up just to... And so I thought I built the skin. My mom alone, for those of you that know Mama Han, ooh, y'all be laughing on the side. It's not funny when you're the one getting roasted.
Aunties are one thing. Internet trolls are
yeah, they are. I know. Breed. I thought I was...
You're building the skin right now. You're building
am.
it. And this is a necessary step that you have to go through. And then you can look back and you can thank the haters later, because they're building your defense right now for you. It's forcing you to figure out how to maintain a balance point amidst all the bullshit that's coming at you.
All right, Yin Yangs, I just want to point something out right now. Do you see the difference, the stark difference between a healing masculine and a still petty but kind of healing feminine? He's like, yeah, thank the haters later. No, I'm going to, I can show my thanks, but I believe in tough love. So, you know. But yeah, no, I get it. I just strive to be like you when I grow up, Jeff. I want to be like you.
Oh, good on the side of the fence too. Yeah.
How so? Everything you said is like literally straight out of like some like Chinese martial arts movie, or like what I would think of what like Jesus would say. Thank your haters, turn the other cheek. I'm like, fuck, where are you at? You know?
I don't know what to tell you. For me, it's just like it's an easier way to live. It's just there's less friction in my mind, and I appreciate having not too much friction in my life. So I think whatever actions I can do, whatever path I try to take in my life is really aimed at that goal of just... The Taoists will like to say, like, don't leave a footprint, which in a way is kind of the antithesis to everything that Western culture really is pushing for. You want to leave a giant footprint. But there's even a story in Taoism. It's like the oldest, ugliest, most gnarled tree is the tree that gets left alone from like the lumberjacks, and is the one that grows the longest and survives the longest. So I think there's a bit of that mixed into my approach to life, but also I do want to leave a footprint, so I can't ignore that aspect. But I think there's opposing qualities that I think could coexist in my mind.
Yeah,
so.
No, I get it. I think it's always, I mean, life, right? I get that. But, I don't know. Today was just an insanely juxtaposed duality day. And I just went from an extreme, it wasn't extreme low. Like, it wasn't like, I was porous, I was feeling a little bit, blue, but it wasn't like I was like down in the dumps or anything. And then to this like really high extreme. And then it just kind of like clashed. Like it was like, I'm feeling a little bit vulnerable, but I'm also feeling like I'm riding high. And then just, they were coexisting. And it was like, it was a very interesting place to be. But yeah, it just brought all these questions of like, oh my God, if I'm porous at only this level, I'm striving to be hundreds of thousand followers in to hit 1 million. I can't imagine trying to feel this at a 1/10 level if it's a max capacity, right?
You really gotta find your center then. Yeah, I think the more followers you get, the more fame, the more trolls are coming in. Even the highs too. The highs can pull you off your center. The lows definitely can pull you off your center. Regardless of what's happening, I think you always want to stay steadfast as much as possible.
I mean, I do have like a personal, like, in relationships, not just like romantic, usually in romantic, I maintain balance, like neutrality. And if my partner, whether it's romantic or friends or business or whatever, if they're riding high, I don't do anything. I like ride it with them, because you're going to naturally come down. But if you're low, it's harder for you to pull yourself back up to neutrality. So I'm a better friend when you're like low and not high. Because if you're high, I'm excited, I'm going to be there with you, but there's nothing more for me to do. You're just going to naturally ride it down to neutrality. And so some people think that I'm not like excited about their wins. They think that I'm not excited about my own wins, but it's just I'm actually living in the moment. But if you're like down in the dumps, you're feeling blue, I'm going to help kind of bring you back up, right? And so I'm trying to apply that to my own self of like, today when, again, like I got the message, I just shot through the roof. I think I texted that I was like hyperventilating. I got a little dizzy for a second because I realized I wasn't breathing. And I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck? And like the entire thing was me, my office manager looked at me like, are you okay? And I'm like, what? No, I'm not. And then she of course like jumped and screamed with me, which was amazing. And then it just like, at the same time, it was like, oh, remember these fuckers that hate your face? And it's like, oh my God, if I do this huge publication, I think that was the sad part for that moment. If I'm featured with my book, people are going to spend more time hating what I look like than wanting to get to know what my book is about. And I think that was that intrusive thought that kind of snuck in. And it was like, oh my God, do I need to change my face? Do I need to not show my face? Do I need to be faceless? Like, what's the best way to not detract from my message? Because I don't want it to be about me. I don't want people to talk about whether I'm pretty or I'm not pretty. Like, just, can you talk about my book?
That's human nature.
So,
You can't
I know.
change human nature.
I'm human, unfortunately.
That will, unfortunately, I think the masses, they will, if you look at the general bell curve, people will always kind of reside in a more shallow aspect of their mind. Yeah. And for you to expose yourself, you gotta expose yourself to, like, you can't, like, pick and choose who. So.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I've sufficiently just, like, toot my own horn and then raged against haters this entire conversation. But thank you for letting me feel better. I feel pretty good right now.
Yeah, good. Good. That's what we're here for.
Oh man, what a day. Just that was a lot for me today.
So where are you now? Are you back in your center?
You know, it's weird. I don't feel like I balanced out of, like, the high and the low. But I think one thing that I will give myself the grace for is, unlike previous versions of me, I'm not staying in a higher low. I know where my baseline is, and I'm just gonna let the two kind of even out, and that's it. I know the good thing happened. I know it's still going to be there. I know the bad thing happened. I know that's still going to be there. But I'm not letting myself say, I'm not going to see this. I'm just going to ride the high. Or I'm not going to take this. I'm just going to focus on the bad shit. I'm like, you know what? I'm where I am. I'm just going to let this just kind of let the dust settle.
Sounds very Taoist to me.
Yeah, I feel like Jeff today. I feel like Jeff. I don't know how long it's going to last, but...
Is it easy? You just don't have to do anything. You're just like, oh, I'll let it sort itself out by itself.
We'll unpack that conversation for next week. I've got a couple things to ask you.
That is a loaded statement I had, and it does require a lot of unpacking.
Oh, unpack we will.
We will unpack it.
Unpack we will.
All right. So then, I guess that's the Chi Talks. Keep detoxing and let your body do what it do.